Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to make use of the leftovers of the foamy double-sided snowflakes from the Simon Says January card kit, as well as the sentiment from the stamp set and one of the other ombre cardstock pieces that came in that kit. I've got some glitter that I'm going to use on the snowflakes themselves, and also some distress oxide for the sentiment. The distress oxide is peacock feathers, and it's close enough to the color, one of the colors in the background, so I thought it tied in really nicely. For a very quick card, this took me not long at all, maybe 10 minutes tops, and that was faffing about as well. So I'm using the edge of a piece of scrap cardstock, just white cardstock, to line up the sentiment and stamp it down. And then I will later on, I will just trim that with a paper trimmer so that I get a strip of a strip for the sentiment. That's also why I use the edge of the cardstock, so it makes it a little bit easier. So for these snowflakes, I'm going to take the backer off the snowflake sheet, and I'm going to stick that straight down to this ombre piece of cardstock. And it is bigger, sorry, the snowflakes are smaller than the background piece, but don't worry about that. We're then going to trim this out. You could leave it like that, but I didn't like the way it looked. So I decided to trim the edges, which is also why I wasn't too worried about lining it up completely straight. So you can either use a craft knife and a cutting mat to cut the edges, because this is foam. It's you can't, well, you might be able to get it through your trimmer. Or you could use a whacking great big pair of scissors and cut the edges that way, which is what I did. Now we're going to take the top backer off the snowflakes, and I have a coffee filter, but a piece of copy paper folded in half will do just fine. And now that the top edge is all sticky, right? So that's the exposed bit. And we're going to take the white glitter. This is Nouveau glitter. It's like a clear iridescent kind of glitter, and we're just going to dump it on top. That's a technical term, of course. We're going to just dump that on the top of that. I'm not worried about it going in the gaps, like where the snowflake shape is. I just want to get that glitter all over the sticky edge or the sticky surface of the snowflakes. Once I've done that, I'm going to tap that off a few times and dump it back in the glitter. Try not to do that. It doesn't matter though. And then just get the excess by tapping the back off, and then you've got that front covered beautifully. So what I'm also going to do now is I've cut my sentiment strip. So I'm just deciding where I'm going to put that. I also added some gems. These are just from my stash, into the centers of all the main snowflakes. There are some sort of circle dot type things around it. And then I used some foam on the back of the sentiment and stuck it at a bit of an angle, slightly lower than that center snowflake. Otherwise you would lose sight of that snowflake if I stuck it straight over the top. And that finishes the panel. I will probably add this to a card base because it is still quite flimsy. But I just think it makes use of that extra foam that we had left from the snowflakes. So I hope this was helpful for someone. And I will see you next time, guys. Bye for now.